And that's beautiful.
Listen to me.
Yes.
You can play games with me.
I'm not playing games.
Listen to me.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You see, you can listen.
I'm listening, sorry.
You can play games with me.
But you can't play with him. Nah,
Okay,
you're
so
100%.
be careful when you talk to me.
They tried to embarrass him twice, once with a camera in his face and once on the street. But instead of losing control, Denzel Washington did what only a few men in Hollywood are capable of doing. He turned confrontation into a sermon. It started with a reporter who tried to corner him, twisting his words about his sobriety, and it ended with a fan who accused him of drinking again, right there in public. Two completely different moments, but both carried the same energy: disrespect, disbelief, and the world waiting to see how he would respond. But what happened next shocked everyone. Denzel didn't raise his voice, he didn't walk away, and he didn't let his pride take over. He looked the man dead in the eye and said quietly, "You can play games with me, but you can't play with God." That one line stopped the conversation cold. In an instant, what looked like another viral argument turned into something deeper, a reminder of who Denzel really is. This wasn't about fame or image. It wasn't even about sobriety. It was about truth. The truth of a man who fought his demons, rebuilt himself through faith, and still stands tall when people try to test his integrity. So what really happened that day? Why did both a fan and a reporter feel the need to challenge one of the most disciplined men in Hollywood? And what does it reveal about Denzel's life, his faith, and the quiet battle between respect and entertainment in the modern world? Let's break it down.
Damn, it's like that? Man, it's better when you're drinking, Mr. Washington. Yeah, okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a good lie. Seriously. That's messed up, bro.
It all started with an interview that should have been simple. A veteran reporter sat across from Denzel Washington, a man whose reputation speaks louder than any headline. But somewhere in that conversation, things took a turn. Not because of what Denzel said, but because of what the reporter implied. The reporter brought up his sobriety, specifically a claim that Denzel had been sober for 15 years. On paper, it might have sounded like a compliment, but the way it was phrased felt like a trap. The actor immediately noticed the tone and the insinuation hidden beneath it. Calmly but firmly, he corrected the record, saying he hadn't been drinking since 2014, roughly 10 years, not 15. The reporter, either confused or looking for a headline, pressed the issue again, making it sound as if Denzel had lied. In that moment, something changed in the room. The warmth of the interview vanished. Denzel leaned forward, looked the reporter dead in the eye, and called out what everyone else was too afraid to say: the lack of respect. It wasn't just about numbers or dates. It was about principle, about the dignity of a man who's worked decades to build himself back up after hardship, only to have his truth questioned in front of the world. He didn't yell, he didn't snap. He simply drew a line, reminding the reporter that not every question deserves an answer and not every man should be spoken to like a headline waiting to happen. When the clip hit the internet, it spread fast. Millions watched Denzel hold his ground with quiet power. Some saw anger, others saw control, but everyone saw the same thing: a man who refused to let the media rewrite his story. And just when the moment seemed to fade away, another one would soon explode online. Except this time, it wasn't in a studio. It was on the street, and it got a whole lot more personal.
Watch you, Malcolm X is my best movie. I was watching it with my moms growing up, man. Huh? Of course I believe in God. That's why I wake up every morning and come out and hustle, not hurt nobody, and do shit that do in the hood every day, all day.
A few weeks later, Denzel Washington found himself in a completely different setting. No cameras, no studio lights, just the streets of New York City. He was heading to his car when a man approached him, phone in hand, recording everything. At first, it seemed harmless. The man, who goes by the name GTV Reality, was an autograph seeker. But the moment Denzel told him not right now, the energy shifted. The man didn't back off. Instead, he started taunting him, saying, "I liked you better when you were drinking." It was the kind of line that could have triggered anyone. A low blow aimed at one of the most respected men in Hollywood. A man who's openly talked about his past struggles with alcohol, his journey through faith, and the discipline it took to change. But instead of firing back, Denzel stayed calm. He turned, looked at the man, and said firmly, "I haven't had a drink in 15 years." That should have been the end of it, but the heckler didn't stop. He accused Denzel of lying, saying, That's a good lie." The air grew tense. People nearby started watching, but Denzel didn't feed the chaos. He didn't argue or try to prove himself. Instead, he asked a question that caught everyone off guard. "Do you believe in God?" The man froze for a second, clearly not expecting that. "Of course I believe in God," he said, trying to sound confident. Denzel nodded, then reached for his phone and showed him a picture, a photo of clouds shaped like a pair of eyes. "What do you see?" he asked. The man hesitated, then answered softly, "God." That's when the tone of the entire moment changed. The arrogance faded, the noise disappeared, and Denzel told him, "You can play games with me, but you can't play with God." It wasn't anger, but it was a warning. A man who had been tested, who had fallen and risen again, reminding someone that faith isn't a game. What started as a confrontation turned into a lesson. The heckler expected a reaction, but what he got was conviction. Clips of that exchange spread everywhere. Millions watched as Denzel turned a moment of disrespect into something almost spiritual. It wasn't about winning an argument. It was about standing in truth, quietly, powerfully, and without breaking composure. And while the internet focused on the drama, the real story wasn't about what was said. It was about why Denzel responded the way he did, and what it revealed about the man behind the fame.
I just get autographs, Mr. Washington. Seriously. Do you believe in God? Seriously. Can I get one? You got the window open, man. Takes 2 seconds to help a brother out.
Most people would have seen that moment as just another celebrity getting heckled. But for Denzel Washington, it was something much deeper. To him, that confrontation wasn't random. It was a test. Faith has always been at the center of Denzel's life. Long before the cameras, the awards, and the fame, he was a man searching for purpose. He's spoken openly about how his mother's prayers saved him, how he hit rock bottom, and how every time he tried to steer his own life, something greater pulled him back on track. So when that fan mocked him, it wasn't just disrespect, it was spiritual provocation. That's why his response wasn't about ego or proving a point. It was about drawing a line between faith and foolishness. By asking, "Do you believe in God?" Denzel wasn't trying to humiliate the man. He was trying to reach him. Showing the photo of eyes in the clouds wasn't some trick. It was Denzel's way of saying, "There's always someone watching, someone greater than both of us." The moment went from confrontation to reflection, and you could feel the energy shift, even through the screen. The man who came looking for a viral clip ended up being humbled by something he didn't expect: silence. Not the kind that ends a conversation, but the kind that makes you think. And that's what makes Denzel different. He doesn't just preach discipline, he lives it. He doesn't just talk about faith, he acts on it. Even in the face of disrespect, he carries himself like a man who's already been through worse and learned the power of restraint. That clip didn't go viral because of what was said. It went viral because of what it meant. It was a rare moment of truth in a world addicted to chaos, a reminder that peace will always hit harder than anger. But behind that peace was a story most people didn't know. A story about addiction, struggle, and redemption. A story that began long before that camera was ever turned on.
Like, seriously. What's up? It's a sign right there. It's a face. It's a face. Yeah, I see it. It's an image of...
When that clip started spreading online, people saw a calm man handle chaos, but they didn't see the meaning behind that calm. Denzel Washington wasn't just standing his ground that day. He was defending something far more important than his reputation. He was defending the principles that built him. For decades, Denzel has talked about order, how faith gives him balance, and how discipline keeps him free. He's always believed that true power isn't about control over others, but control over yourself. And in that moment, when a stranger tried to provoke him in public, he showed exactly what that means. Most people in his position would have snapped, yelled, or stormed off. But Denzel didn't take the bait. He turned the situation into a lesson, and that's what separates wisdom from reaction. When he said, "You can play games with me, but you can't play with God," it wasn't anger speaking, it was conviction. It was a man reminding the world that no one is above accountability, not even the people holding the cameras. That's why his words hit so hard. They carried the weight of experience, of a man who had already faced his demons and rebuilt himself through faith. The same man who once struggled with alcohol now preaches peace. The actor who used to play kings and warriors now carries that same strength quietly through grace and self-control. It's why people respect him. Denzel doesn't react for headlines. He responds with purpose. He doesn't need to prove his peace. He embodies it. And that's what made this moment powerful. It wasn't about winning an argument. It was about showing what it looks like to rise above one. But to truly understand why that moment mattered, you have to go back to where it all started. The confusion, the criticism, and how a simple misunderstanding about his sobriety turned into a global debate.
What do you think it is?
It's God.
Who do you think took that picture?
What do you think I look like?
You.
Who do you think took the picture?
You took the picture.
Oh,
I was praying to God.
I know.
I can see your face. Everybody says they can see your face. I heard it. Turn to your left.
Before the street incident ever happened, everything started with a misunderstanding, one that snowballed into a headline. During an interview, a reporter mentioned that Denzel Washington had been sober for 15 years. It sounded like a compliment, but it was wrong. Denzel had never said that. What he actually revealed years ago was that he stopped drinking in December 2014. That made it around 10 years sober, not 15. The reporter had mixed up the timeline, confusing Denzel's 15 years of drinking with his 10 years of sobriety. But instead of correcting it respectfully, the question came off like an accusation. Denzel immediately caught it. You could see it in his expression, that moment where patience meets principle. Calmly, he corrected the statement and explained the real story, that he used to drink heavily from 1999 to 2014. Then made a life-changing decision to stop completely. But the reporter kept pressing as if he didn't believe him. That's when the tone changed. Denzel wasn't angry, he was disappointed. He looked at the man interviewing him not as a journalist, but as someone who had just crossed a line. The silence that followed said more than any outburst could. The clip went viral overnight. Some viewers praised him for standing up for himself. Others twisted the moment, saying he was being defensive. But to anyone who's ever fought addiction or made real change, his reaction made perfect sense. He wasn't protecting his image, he was protecting his truth. Because for Denzel, honesty isn't negotiable. He's spent a lifetime building that integrity, both as a man and as an actor. And when someone tries to rewrite his story, even with one wrong sentence, he makes sure they know. He'll always stand on truth before he stands on approval. What the world saw as tension was really a man setting boundaries. And what started as a misquoted number became a moment that revealed just how far he's come. From chaos to clarity, from temptation to total control. But as powerful as that moment was, the real conversation wasn't about math or memory. It was about something much bigger. The way people treat public figures when they open up about personal battles.
That's what I saw.
And that's beautiful.
Listen to me.
Yes.
You play games with me.
I'm not playing games.
Listen to me.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You see, you can listen.
I'm listening, sorry.
You can play games with me.
But you can't play with him. Nah,
Okay,
you're
so
100%.
be careful when you talk to me.
The whole situation raised a bigger question. When did respect stop being part of the conversation? Somewhere along the way, people started treating celebrities like targets instead of humans. Every interview, every viral clip feels like a setup, not a conversation. Denzel Washington has spent over 4 decades in Hollywood. He's played kings, soldiers, and prophets. But behind all that, he's a man who values privacy over fame. He's never chased headlines, never overshared his personal life. Yet, the world still feels entitled to his truth. When that reporter questioned his sobriety, it wasn't just bad journalism. It was a reflection of how far the culture has fallen. And when that fan mocked him on the street, it showed how easily admiration turns into entitlement. Somewhere between curiosity and disrespect, the line disappeared. But Denzel's response reminded everyone that composure still holds power. He didn't argue or react. He stood firm. That silence spoke louder than any rant ever could. While the world feeds on chaos, he showed that peace and discipline still demand attention. You can question his past, but you can't shake his peace. And maybe that's why his response hit so deeply, because everyone's been misunderstood. Everyone's had their truth tested. Watching Denzel stay calm was a reminder that real strength isn't in the reaction, it's in the restraint. But before the peace, there was pain, and a long road of mistakes, lessons, and redemption. Before the discipline, before the calm composure, there was a man fighting battles no one could see. Denzel Washington wasn't always the unshakable figure we know today. There was a time when he was lost in the noise, chasing success, drowning in pressure, and quietly struggling with alcohol. He's spoken about it openly, not as gossip, but as testimony. For nearly 15 years, he drank heavily. He's admitted that it numbed him, that it blurred the line between who he was and who he wanted to be. But in December 2014, he made a decision that would change everything. He stopped, cold, and he never looked back. That decision wasn't about image, it was about survival. He realized that fame couldn't fill the void that faith could. And from that day forward, his life changed direction. He became more private, more intentional, more rooted in purpose. It wasn't an overnight transformation. Sobriety tested him, fame tested him, and even faith tested him. But every challenge became another layer of strength. That's why his calm feels so genuine today, because it's been earned. It's the kind of peace that only comes after walking through fire and choosing not to let it burn you twice. He turned his pain into wisdom, his mistakes into messages, and every time someone tries to provoke him now, you can see it. That quiet reminder in his eyes that says, "I've already been through worse than this." That's what people felt in those viral clips. It wasn't just control, it was growth. A man who had been broken, rebuilt, and refined by experience. And that's why when he talks about faith, it hits differently, because he's not preaching it, he's living it. But what makes all of this powerful isn't just the redemption itself, it's what that redemption says about the man behind the fame. Those viral clips weren't about fame or ego, they were about truth. Denzel Washington didn't need to shout or prove himself. His calmness said it all. Real strength isn't loud, it's controlled. In a world obsessed with attention, he reminded everyone that peace will always hit harder than pride. The reporter tried to twist his story, the fan tried to test him, but both moments revealed the same thing. You can't shake a man who knows who he is. Maybe this wasn't about years of sobriety. Maybe it was about how far he's come since the day he chose peace over chaos. And maybe that's why people couldn't stop watching, because everyone wants that kind of calm when life tries to test them. So remember, you don't always have to react. Sometimes the strongest move is staying still. If this story hit you, drop a like, subscribe for more real breakdowns like this, and comment below. Was Denzel defending himself or defending something bigger?